This episode of Super GG Radio is brought to you by our Patreon. Patrons of the show can get our Dogs of Super GG Radio newsletter, Super GG Radio stickers to slap on your closest PC or bag, input on what we cover, game nights with the hosts, and even a chance to win a copy of an indie we talked about. Not only that, but 90% of all patron contributions go to the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. Visit patreon.com/superggradio to learn more.
What's good, Internet, and welcome to session 244 of Super GG Radio. Please take that off of my face, where friends chat about video games and all things adjacent. I'm your host and discount version of Jeff Keighley, Eric Getty Gettinger. Back from his Dune popcorn bucket search is Alex Arona.
I mean, the last 2 weeks were a dumpster fire. I was literally in a fire of Arizona. And I you know, let's get real with it. We were a little late to our flight home because I was playing Balatro like a lot.
Yeah.
I was packing in with one hand, the Switch in the other. I can't leave even for like a little bit. Like, no one did reviews, no beta breakdowns. Everything's on fire. It's the Donald Glover community meme. Like, I just come back and everything's just on fire.
You know, we would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids. But seriously, let me introduce my partner in crime, Joel DeWitte.
I had nothing to do with any of this. Getty told me not to do anything.
Yeah.
That's all in him.
No. You were supposed to be the chosen one. I guess, not anymore. Alright. This week we also have Phil Arona. He's too cool for an opening because I was told at the last minute that you'd be joining us.
I'm not the hero this city needs. I'm the one it deserves. Give me my bow and arrow. You have failed this city.
You hit all the points there. Well,
I feel like he failed the city. That's
oh yeah, 100%. Green Arrow was not good.
He was just Arrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he never became.
became.
Then he became Dead Man, weirdly.
He became. Yeah, no, that happens. Mm-hmm. That happens sometime. No, he became the Spectre.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, that was fair.
He became the Spectre, Alex.
I forgot. You know what? That's on me. I forgot.
Well, all this comic book talk definitely has me fired up for this week. So let's, we'll be running on the walls and early adopters. Alex brings us some inside information with the news. And then secret beat list content in the backlog. That sounds good. I'm not moving my other setup to this screen. I'm going to read off of this screen because I have to have 4 browsers open.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna. And I'm also gonna take us to early adopters, where we play alphas, betas, and games that got me lost in the backrooms. Guys, I don't know what it is, but on what seems like a weekly or even monthly basis, there are these backroom games that just come out to Steam, and everybody's got one, everybody's made one, and I was like, you know what? What the hell? Let me just throw one of them on our early adopters for this week. And I regret it. Oh boy. I mean, I kind of knew that it was going to be along the same lines of, we played this a long time ago, but it was like Go Home Annie. And that was, you're walking around, you're just exploring a house, and you're finding different supernatural events that are occurring. In Backrooms, The Project, which is what we played, it's kind of like that. You are a guy in a hazmat suit, and you've got, or maybe even a radiation suit. He's got something going on. You got your trusty camcorder, and you're just walking around in the back rooms. And for those that aren't familiar with Backrooms, it is, I don't really know how to describe it other than when I was growing up, the old man would take me into his office, and there would be like the the area in the back where they'd put all their storage stuff, and nobody really went back there. So that was like the back rooms. Kind of like the stacks, if you're familiar with that.
Now, hold on. Let's stop. You went all around the world in that one, and you told a very personal story that I didn't know where you were going with that. I felt deeply uncomfortable. Now, Getty, are you aware of the back rooms? Like, what they are? So
you didn't listen to anything I said.
I did, but it seemed all over the place, and I didn't. It was very unclear whether you actually know what the backrooms are or not. Like,
no, I made it very clear that I don't, and that's why I put the game on the early adopters.
Okay.
Sir, you are drunk.
See, that's the problem.
Out of control.
That I'm halfway down with one, and
oh
two,
my gosh.
I was very confused.
Alex, you have failed this city.
Again.
All right, Alex, mansplain to me.
I have a gold medal.
Mansplain to me what a back room is.
Okay, so the Backrooms is it's analog horror. Analog horror is a new YouTube genre of short videos that have a lot of like hidden clues and ARGs to them, but they're called analog horror because they're throwbacks to the old like technology of like found footage, VHS tapes, and old-timey stuff like that. And there's lots of them. I've watched a bunch of them. There's one that I like that's called Local 54, I believe, where it's just local news channel footage, but it's somehow if you go through all the clues and the hidden messages, turns out the moon is coming to kill you. Stuff like that, where they have hidden messages. And in this one, the Backrooms has been an ongoing found footage series where people keep like cars will just disappear into the ground and appear in the backrooms. And there has been a thing where like the government has sent a team to explore the backrooms, and then someone got lost and then supposedly became a parasite, like a fungus monster or something like that. There's a whole thing with these like hidden found footage videos that lead to like unlisted YouTube channels and real life clues in the world. And it's blown up so much they're making a movie. So that's why the backroom games are popping off right now, is because that YouTube channel has been popping off for the last like couple of years.
Did anybody get any of that?
The whole thing about cars disappearing into halfway into the floor and the whole government project really sounds like was that movie The Philadelphia Project? You guys ever see that?
No, I never saw that one. I was gonna say one of the early ones was the one with the monster Godzilla attack.
The monster Godzilla. Oh, Alex's favorite movie from college.
I did
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield. Yes, thank you.
But that has been taken into small chunk mini YouTube footage, like shows, essentially.
Or like Blair Witch.
Yeah. Yes, and the Backrooms is a very popular one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that's where this comes from, and it's pretty much looks exactly like the show. I mean, because it's just like found footage. You hit the pause screen in the game. Now we're talking about the demo, the Backroom, the projects. You pause it and it does the pause screen with the options, but it comes up with like the VHS like staticky footage.
Alex, tracking. What's a VHS?
Don't make me Google that.
What does VHS stand for?
For Video Home System. I thought that was it, but it felt weird. It had a bad mouthfeel to say.
Mouth feels.
Yeah. And in this case, this does a lot of the Backrooms idea where you're wandering through this endless corridor and finding things halfway through walls and normal everyday objects. But how did they get here?
Philadelphia Project. That's what that is. So there was a whole
Philadelphia Project.
Yeah, it was allegedly a quote unquote true story, and like it was almost like an urban legend the guy told about a government project where the military was working on like teleportation, and they tried to teleport a military ship and it disappeared, and then when it reappeared there were like sailors halfway fused into the hull of the ship. It was
the Philadelphia Experiment.
Sorry, yes, that's Philadelphia Experiment.
And also, yes, that's kind of what this is like, but no one knows, it wasn't the government that created the Backrooms. It was people started finding it, and then the government started exploring it. But yeah, it's probably based off of that urban legend, right?
Some of that concept, some of that made it there.
Yeah. Getty, what did you think of the Backroom project?
Aesthetically, It was that, which I tried to describe at the beginning, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. It looks like just back rooms. Walls, for the most part, are unadorned. The corridors are stretching, and you don't really know where you're at for a good portion of it. And, there's some objects, but mostly barren and terrifying. Truly terrifying. Even if you don't experience the horror element to it with the monsters and everything, when you're walking through, you get lost so quick. And there's not a lot of identifying factors that help you to find your bearings again. So you just kind of have to wander. Find that the most terrifying part.
Did anybody find the Backrooms creature?
Yes.
Yeah, I encountered it. Yeah.
How did that go for you, Joel?
I died very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a note on the wall or something saying, like, don't move. Or something like, if you see it, don't move, and you take that advice, it doesn't work.
Maybe it put the sign up.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be
Yeah.
a person, right?
A lot of the screenshots in the video that I saw when they were like walking through the basement with all of the pipes and everything. It reminds me a lot of a friend of mine who works for CPS, and he's always going through the basement, doing utility stuff, and he takes pictures of like the halls that are in the basement, and it's just creepily abandoned. And he said they always find that one random chair sitting in the middle of a wide open room in the dark. And that's usually the most creepy thing that he sees.
Oh, yeah.
He takes a picture of it, and it's just like this chair, like a dilapidated chair, sitting in a dusty old room that's dark. He takes a flash picture, so everything is dark around it. And there's like garbage strewn about the place, and it's like, yeah, that looks like Blair Witch.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing about him is that, like, yeah, it's supposed to be this kind of wild experience of, like, whoa, what is this thing? And it's like, and I actually still know somebody who does a lot of like urban exploring. I keep trying to connect the video here, and it is not loving my internet for some reason. Not like I'm doing 17 things at once. Yeah, so it is. Urban exploring is still like a weird thing that I think that people do. Like a friend of mine I know through skateboarding, I check her Instagram, and it's like, oh man, this is some wild. Oh, you found a whole office building that's completely untouched, and like it's like ready to be demolished, but it looks like people just like moved in yesterday. And that kind of stuff is just like it's so wild to see that that's still like a thing.
Oh, I've seen series of videos of people sneaking into abandoned malls and stuff like that too. And it's funny, like they'll say they encounter security there still, like there's somebody being paid to just, roam the property.
And that's another thing is that I have there's another found footage show that is just like exploring old malls and stuff like that. And it becomes like there's a horrifying thing still living in the mall. So.
Yeah. There is.
So I liked it, but it is a little bit. It feels a little aimless.
Were you terrified?
When the monster came, sure.
Otherwise, you didn't get that, not quite claustrophobic, but like lost feeling when you were exploring?
Yes, I was very confused. I was very confused.
Looks like
Maybe
Alex is segueing us over. He's already pulled up the video for the other game.
I have not added it to the feed yet, but here we go.
It's too late. You already did it.
You were trying to pigeonhole him into a question, and it looks like he was trying to avoid it.
Yeah. I don't know.
We can just sit on that for a minute and see how long it takes to give.
Yeah, this thing's looking
Getty,
kind of wild.
What is a void?
Well, a void is a game that I like to describe as a runner. And you just keep running. That's the whole premise for the game, is you're running. But it's much different from just heading straight without any purpose. A void, first person, You are following a path, and you use your different controls to navigate objects. So you can shift basically planes. So you're running straight, and you can hit one of the buttons, and you will like fall in the other direction. And that will be required because some of the paths, you'll see like walls on either side, but there's nothing in front of you. So you have to shift so that your character now is running on the wall. But it's not the wall anymore because it's directly underneath you. And a bunch of different elements that you have to make your way around. It's jumping, diving,
ducking, and dodging.
Yeah. At one point it's like, all right, now you're on a rail, and you have to shift around the rail to avoid other elements of the environment that are popping up. It's kind of like a roller coaster.
Very much.
It's very trippy, though. It is very trippy. Like, watching it live is like, man, this sure is like a lot of like dimensional stuff, and it very much is. It just shifts your perspective so hard that I could feel like you can get real dizzy. Phil, you did get a chance to play this one, right?
Yeah. I was playing this. I was experimenting with some of the movements right at the beginning. So right when you start with the opening section, you're in an enclosed area. And the first thing I do is jump up into the top opening, and then it says, "You have died." I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like I couldn't just squeeze through. No, it wouldn't let me. And then you start again, and instantly I turn planes. I'm like, okay, that's not an infinite fall, but no, you land on one of those blocks, you die. So then I finally let myself go through the first entrance, and then it shows you, at least the tutorial has you jump, and then you come across your first wall, and you actually have a couple of walls in front of you. You got to move left, move right, and it seems to be generated randomly because after I died a few times, it changed it up a little bit on me. And then what happens is when the side comes in, and who's that guy?
That's the wrong video.
Haha.
That's another podcast.
So I run, make a left. I'm running on the wall, but now the floor. And then, as Getty says, when something comes in your way, if you don't move, you're dead. You just run into the wall, and dead. Doesn't even look like you're running that fast. I mean, I don't know.
You pick up speed as you go, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, when you jump onto the rails, it feels very much like a roller coaster. The music is, at least the demo music for the video was chiptune-y, but when you actually played it during the game, it sounded very ambient and very, kind of, focusing. And what was cool is every time the track switched, if you looked in the bottom left-hand corner, it told you what the name of the track was and who the artist was. So, when it switched up the music, you could see it.
You gotta love a good soundtrack, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love a good, like kind of techno beats, move fast, get moving, hop, jump, and skip throughout the whole thing. It helps me get in the groove, I find. I feel like when I'm
That's exactly what it did.
Yeah, it puts me in like the mode, and then I can just like, okay, I'm with the music, I'm vibing, I'm going, and that feels good.
Yeah, groovy ambient helps you focus. Didn't keep me from dying, unfortunately, many times, but yeah, it sets the pace. And every time you switch planes, the background hues would change. So it's almost like the colors would invert, and then you jump again, and the colors would invert again, which was pretty cool. Well, not that it was colors; it was black and white, but it would change. Like what was black becomes gray, and what was gray becomes black. So it was fun.
Yeah. There you go, Getty.
Joel,
What?
did you play any games this week?
Oh, I played this. Yeah, I played both of these.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Avoid was really good. I was really impressed by that one. And the color shifts are really great. It starts with the black and white and shifts out to this much brighter and fluorescent backdrops. And the kind of block structure they got is really fascinating because you'll see these weird vertical structures and you'll end up like staring at them or then like dropping down around it, and the movement feels good for the most part. I don't like turning left or right while you're running forward. or jumping. It doesn't feel great on it either, but every time you shift the gravity feels great. And the way you have like the jump and dash and all the different abilities layer on in a way that isn't complex, but interweaves really well with the other systems.
Mm-hmm. Did you appreciate the little pop-ups whenever you would encounter something new that it introduced into your repertoire?
Yes, and I think that speaks to the overall style of this game. It's just that this feels like a game that's going to be very complete, and I'm looking forward to it. Well, it's really good.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of those couch co-op games that it'll be fun to have everybody sitting around, take your turns, see who can get the furthest, and then razz and jeer as Alex runs off the side of the mountain. All right.
That would be cool. Two-player split screen. That would be pretty cool.
Just racing each other.
Yeah, and then as one person turns, you get distracted by the other person's screen. That'd be fun.
Yeah, just try and knock the controller out of somebody else's hand.
Oh, like absolutely.
Back in the old days. Are we just staring at Joel right now?
Oh, are we? Yep. There you go. I read that the highlight.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
He wasn't saying anything, and I was like, okay. All right. So, that was a void?
Yep.
Segment concluded. Chance of successful return? Minimal. Break time. Sorry, I just read one of these news pieces of news. And yeah, okay, sure. All right, let's. I'm doing it. This leap year, I guess it's leap year day.
Woo!
I kept telling everybody at work, extra day does not mean extra pay. So, especially if you're salaried.
Did you ever watch that 30 Rock episode of Leap Year?
I know what you're talking about. It's the
they
guy
made
that,
they made a rom-com like they do, like Christmas, or New Year's or Valentine's Day rom-com. They made a Leap Year rom-com, and it was very funny because the catchphrase people kept saying throughout that movie was, "Leap Day is for living, work is for March." I was like, that's pretty solid.
It's good.
Yeah.
So now that it's a leap year day, I'm officially retiring the current introduction to the news. And here's my first attempt. And it's probably going to be bad, so expect more of these in the coming weeks. This is Video Game News with Super GG Radio. Now with 100% more Pokemon.
I'm into it.
We'll see how it goes.
It's actually kind of funny to have Phil on the episode for this because he's the one that started the make a pass at the news.
Yeah,
news. Yeah, you started that, and it went 244 episodes before we retired that bit. And you have no idea how we've had guests on and we're like, hey, we're gonna hit on the news, and every time they're all like, wait, what?
Something wrong with y'all.
Yeah, I don't understand this joke at all.
I was just riffing on something the way somebody had introduced the news the day before or the episode before, and I just ran with it.
I'm okay with it.
And we went so long, and now it's changing.
Yep, let's do it.
I mean, all right, news.
Did it.
We got a lot of news. Is all of it good news? Who knows? But I'm going to read it off, and hopefully it won't be awful. Okay, first piece of news.
Pick what you want.
I would rather that you just fill this in with hearsay, because That's what I'm here
You
for.
get so mad
because
when
I
report
don't want to
video
report on stuff that isn't real. Okay,
But then it ends up being real, and then
It
we
doesn't.
say, "Hey, call that."
no,
It does.
because here's the thing: we reported on the Borderlands movie when it was in early
God.
stages of development. When they were like, "This movie's gonna happen," and Alex is like, "This movie's never gonna happen."
That wasn't a reported thing. What was reported was that it was being made, and that the director took his name off of it, which are both factually accurate.
Are they?
Yeah.
And you're gonna see this movie
With you, yes, absolutely.
for my birthday. We're going.
I'm gonna bring my Dune popcorn bucket.
Don't joke. Did you get one?
I mean, not yet. The movie's not out.
You're gone for 2 weeks. You better get one.
Comes out tonight. Podcast gets done. I go to the movies.
How long is that movie? Like 4 hours?
Yes, I will not sleep well,
I mean,
or a lot.
chances are you'll probably sleep really well if you fall asleep in one of those recliner chairs.
That I will not remember this.
I have seen you do that before.
Like, I'm trying to watch Oscar movies right now, and I'm just like, I have no time for Dune. I'm gonna go there, say bucket me, and then get out.
I don't think that they're going to make you show your ticket to Dune to buy the bucket. Anyway, news. Spelunky creators retro compilation UFO 50 coming the end of 2024. Retro compilation.
So they announced it a while ago that they were making a game called UFO 50, and it was a compilation of 50 retro style games.
Okay.
And it was vaporware, just like disappeared off the map.
But now
And,
this is factually happening.
They just kind of came out and said, "Oh, by the way, remember that? Yeah, we're gonna do it this year." Nailed it.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool. Also, your wife is in the chat, and she is very mad at you. Here you go for her. Give her a little wink. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
All right.
Okay.
Next piece of news. There was a Pokemon Direct this week. It was Pokemon Day this week. The only piece of news I guess we're sharing is TCG Pocket. And you know what that is? You just open like a pack of Pokemon cards in the app. That's it.
From my understanding, Lisa, calm down. It's inappropriate. It's not.
I'm so scared to know what she's saying.
She's fine. No, there already is a Pokemon trading card game for phones,
Yes.
but they're doing a different variation on it somehow.
When I looked at this, it just said that you can open a pack of cards. On the app.
You get 2 packs a day.
And that's it, though. But I don't.
You're a 2 pack a
That's
day
very
guy.
unhealthy. That's very unhealthy.
You're a 2 pack a day guy.
So I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to say.
And no idea how you know how much money they're gonna put on you.
Probably.
Right? Like I prepped Phil. I said, "Hey, Phil, this is gonna be a thing, and your kids will
I am not showing him that stuff.
they will take your credit card."
They get enough money from Robux and Fortnite stuff. And
By the way, Lisa, it's feetfinder.com/superggradio.
All right. Next piece of news. This is exciting for me. Nobody else. Everybody else here hates Control. Remedy acquires the rights to Control from 505 Games.
Control.
Hey, y'all know about Remedy?
The reason why this is kind of important is that we're now seeing this week, right, Joel? Would you agree? Like, this is the week that all of a sudden, game devs are going indie.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say?
Yeah. I mean,
like
Toys for Bob just today announced that they were departing from Activision. So
And then the other one is that there's rumors that Gearbox is going to go indie. So it's just that there was a time when all the big corporate conglomerates were like the big companies were buying them all up, and now we're seeing with the big companies buying them up that they're not making the profits they wanted. Mass layoffs are happening, and to avoid that and have a little bit more control, they're starting to buy back their own IP and just control it themselves to be separate.
So they're going to control. Right, got it.
They're going to control. I mean, they can't control Max Payne, which is like a bummer, but they're going to control. And might see the same with Gearbox and Toys for Bob, which Toys for Bob, that's right, Joel, that's your
They're the ones behind Skylanders, and then they were also responsible for the Spyro and the Crash Bandicoot revival stuff.
So are you hoping for more Skylanders?
I'm sure No, I don't want.
He is. Don't be confused. He is waiting.
The only way I would tolerate it is if it came in like cards. I'm betting, spare the plastics and just do cards.
Because it generally ends up in a landfill.
Yeah. Or a GameStop bin somewhere.
And then at least the cards you could eat, right?
If it came to that, yeah.
Or whip them at somebody.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but an emergency situation, you could at least eat my magic cards.
You can eat the plastic as well.
No, you shouldn't do that.
I mean, you shouldn't eat cards either, but you know what? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Don't tell
It's
me
fiber.
what to do. What I do on the weekends.
Can you imagine Alex passing a Spyro out of his body?
Please don't.
It's too late.
That seems like it. That seems like an HR violation.
You are the one who started us in that direction.
I didn't do this. I didn't do this at all. You started this. You said don't eat plastic, and I said don't tell me what to do in my free time.
And now you're passing a Spyro out of your body.
This all feels very irresponsible.
The internet was a bad choice.
It was.
As is this podcast. What are we going 5 years strong now?
Jesus.
I was gonna say that we never talked about that. The anniversary
Alex,
passed. It's been 5 years.
We don't talk about Bruno. Next piece of news. Nintendo sues Yuzo emulation company. Okay.
This is relevant for Phil.
Why does Phil
I
work
use
for...
I use Ryujinx.
Okay, there you go. I was curious, and I was like, well, I should probably put this in the news for Phil just in case.
Just for Phil, nobody else.
It'll be in the backlog. We'll talk about this in the backlog.
Oh, the Backlog Blog? Where we play games?
No, not yet.
Just trying to help us along.
So close.
Just trying to help us along. Skip 2 whole segments.
Yeah, so you don't hear a lot of like complaints about. I mean, obviously Nintendo's very litigious, right? And in this case, there was stated evidence that what was it? Tears of the Kingdom was emulated, was downloaded millions and millions of times.
It was leaked. Yeah, it was leaked about a week or two early.
Yep.
And a lot of people were playing it and reviewing it and having all their stuff taken down off of YouTube. Nintendo was losing their mind over it. And I mean, I get it. These are new games. A game that didn't even hit the streets yet and was already being emulated and being pirated. And that, that sucks for that because that's their bread and butter right there. A brand new Zelda game. How much money would they have lost on that? And I mean, rightfully so. It's their IP. I'm a fan of emulation, but I'm always geared towards games that are no longer being published or aren't released, or they re-released it, but it was a pretty bad release. It might as well have been on an emulator. But for games that are brand new, anybody could have gotten it emulated, and I mean, I bought it for my kids because they love the Zelda series, and we're gonna support Nintendo on that. But yeah, it's they decided to make an example out of Yuzu, went after him, and there are other people who are doing emulation, and they'll probably go after them too.
Well, we'll see. I think Yuzu was like the biggest culprit for Tears of the Kingdom. But
why would they stop there? Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's weird. I think that like they have to pick and choose their battles, right? Why is Pal World not exceeded anything, right? You got to pick and choose your battles. Is what I'm thinking. What do you think, Joel? Industry insider Joel DeWitte.
Yeah, right.
Well, you are now.
What are we talking about? Pokemon?
You don't have to have an opinion on it. I'm just going to go to the next piece of news.
Thank you.
Because this one is hilarious to me.
Go for it.
Immortals of Avium claims that Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield buried them.
That was the quote.
Come on, guys.
that was
Starfield.
Quote,
It wasn't
Well,
just
I can see
those
you could make a
games.
case like, man, Baldur's Gate 3 buried lots of games. That thing is a beast, was a beast, continues to be a beast. You could tell me Starfield?
No, I think what they're saying is that their game came out at a roughly same time, and pretty much all sales and conversations were those two games.
Because people bought Starfield.
No, people did buy Starfield. It just wasn't up to expectations.
People paid for Game Pass.
People paid for Game Pass. Thank you, Joel. That is my point. People did not go out and please, can I purchase Starfield from you?
That's fair. No, what I'm saying is that it really the conversation with those two games.
Yes.
For like a good 3 months. And but it's also funnier to me because it's like Mortals of Avium. No, you were never in a conversation.
No.
You were never going to be in the conversation. You could come out in a drought and you would not be. Like everyone would be like, "Huh, what was that game?"
How many times did you hear it? How many times did it get nominated in the Game Awards? Maybe not at all, right? Yeah, but any other times that you heard of it? What other accolades did it garner? It's like me putting out a game and being like, man, Baldur's Gate 3 came out of nowhere, totally destroyed me. No, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't make
At the same
games.
time, I just had to Google Mortals of Avium because I'm like, I don't remember this one. Which one was this one? It was like the first person one.
Yeah, I looked it up.
Yeah, one weapon in left hand, magic spell in right hand. Okay,
I mean, it was such a stacked year last year. I mean, I remember all you were just complaining about. There were so many games to get to. Between Baldur's Gate 3 and Spider-Man and Armored Core 6 and. I mean, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
They came out at a stack. It was just bad timing. They came out in a year where there was just so many really good games to play. But unfortunately, like Alex said, even if there wasn't exactly the case, I don't think it would have been breaking down. It would have been busting up sales charts anyway. I mean, it probably would have done better. But I mean,
but that's that's kind of the point, though, is that like people are moving their games, and if you didn't move out your game, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, right? Like, I mean. Tekken 8
for smaller
moved.
developers, it's harder to do.
Yeah, I guess so. But like Tekken 8 moved like to this year because they're like you got Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Like we're not getting anywhere with this.
Yeah.
What's on the shelf or on the plate for this year? I know Final Fantasy VII.
Well, that's a fun conversation. Let's pull that
coming
up.
out, but
it's out. Alex has it in hand
because of that. Tidal
Day
wave
one,
of
baby.
2023
Day one,
games.
baby.
I haven't bothered to look because I think look at all this other stuff I should be playing right now.
We got Rise of Ronin. Let's see. We got Visions of Mana, which is a Mana game.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
What was that?
Shin Megami Tensei 5 was it Revenge?
Yep. Zenless Zone
Joel's getting
Zero,
that one.
which is the people who made what was the game? The free play anime game on your phone, Phil?
Yokai Star.
Oh, Honkai Star Rail?
Or Yokai Rail?
Star.
Something, yeah.
Honkai Star Rail. Little Nightmares
Mahoyo.
3, Frostpunk 2, rumored Wolf Among Us 2, Plucky Squire, Harold Halibut, Ultros was very good. Little Kitty Big City, not a lot of big names. But people are already talking about the fact that they've already hit we already have a top 10 for the year.
Mm-hmm. That was Alex. He's already got his top 10 for the year.
I'm not just making this stuff up. Like, this is conversations on.
Is it just a stats 10 list of Balatro?
Well, no, Belatro's up there, but a lot of people
See,
are.
he's already got the list. He's
Final
like,
Fantasy VII Rebirth, Persona 3 Reloaded. People really like Prince of Persia.
I heard that's a game.
The new one's supposed to be very good.
There's a new South Park game this year.
Tekken 8.
Sure is.
Those South Park games are good. Have you played any of them, Joel?
I played the Stitch of Truth. It was very good.
Yeah. Surprisingly, you'd figure toilet humor, it would be like something to write off. No. It's actually pretty good.
Those games had no right to be as good as they were.
Especially think about those N64 games. There was a game show one, I think, and The other one was like a snowball fight thing. It was a first-person shooter, I think.
Yeah,
it was based
I
on like the
remember
Doom
that.
engine.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a new Space Marines that comes out this year.
Yep.
New Cat Quest.
New Cat Quest.
Another Crab's Treasured. That's one coming out here.
Little Nightmares 3.
Thaumaturge.
Isn't Metal Gear 3 might be coming out? Like the
I think
No,
so.
that's-
Delta
that's-
or whatever.
yeah.
That's not. I don't
You think it's going to be next year? It's going to be 4 years from now?
I don't think they gave it a date. Well, they might have said 2024. I think they said maybe 2024, but they didn't give it an official date.
You get your Until Dawn remake this year, Joel?
Is that this year?
Supposedly. Nine Souls.
Hey, Nine
this
Souls.
ye-
We played that, right?
Yep. That's supposed to be this year. There's really not, like, I'm not seeing any prestige hits. You know what I mean? Silent Hill 2 Remake is, like, one of the bigger ones. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much, like, prestige. Like,
Yeah, I
big
think that
names.
this year won't be as exciting. Maybe we'll see more next year, but still, I got plenty to make it through. This is my rest year.
Well, give a lot
This
of
is
people
the
a chance to, check out the
Backlog.
smaller stuff with it being a drought.
Alex can finally play Pinocchio.
That's the plan. There's a list. There's a list, Getty.
Sure. All right, other news. Dave the Diver, publisher, unveils new action RPG Souls-like... Jeez, Christmas. New action RPG Souls-like Vindictus, defying fate for the PC and consoles.
Yep.
Why do we have to describe it with 15 words like that? Can't it just be like new game? Instead, it's
Because I'm
action
trying to paint a word.
RPG.
I'm trying to
Souls.
paint a word picture, Getty.
Alex, if our listeners don't know what those words mean, then they're just gonna sit there and go, huh? Huh?
But I said all those words, and now they do understand.
You explained all.
I solved it. I solved the problem.
Huh?
I'm a problem solver, Getty. I don't know what your problem is.
What?
Problem solver.
All right, solve this problem. NVIDIA GeForce Now free tier. Okay.
Yep. It's got a free tier.
I only read half of it just to troll him.
I know. I'm
So,
paying attention.
NVIDIA GeForce Now, I assume this is a streaming service.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been like a Game Pass equivalent. for a
Okay,
while.
so the free tier will now have advertisements before,
you play the
the
game.
show begins.
Yep.
Just like YouTube. Just like everything that I watch on YouTube.
Yeah, but the idea here now is that there is a free streaming service, theoretically.
Well, it was free before, but now they're adding ads, which is fine.
No, it was not
that's-
free before.
I wasn't paying for it.
NVIDIA,
charge
the
me.
streaming service?
Yeah. GeForce Now? I linked it to my Steam account.
I'm pretty sure it was. I thought it was. I only know people who paid for it, at least.
So if you
I
paid
know
for
somebody
it,
who paid for it.
they gave you better bandwidth.
Oh, okay.
So the free tier was on lower bandwidth, and you had to wait before you played. If there was a certain amount of people, you had to wait in the queue before they put you in. If you paid for it, you jumped on immediately and started playing.
Oh, so this is like a Netflix thing where now they're adding ads.
Correct.
I ain't paying for that high tier Netflix.
What ads?
I get ads on Netflix for sure.
Why you got so many
I don't
ads?
watch Netflix at all.
I'm trying to watch Love Is Blind, man. I'm okay with it.
Alright.
I'm a bad person for watching that, anyways.
Yeah, you are. Bravely Default dev teasing something for the 3rd anniversary of Bravely Default 2.
Yep. The reason why this is relevant is because there's a lot of questions of what it could be. But one thought is that maybe they'll bring Bravely Default and Bravely Second to Switch.
That would really switch things up, wouldn't it?
Did you like those games, Getty?
I never played them.
They're pretty good.
You played them?
I played the first one. Pretty far.
To completion?
No, I played like 40 hours, and then I looked it up on how long to beat, and it ended up being like 80, and I was like, well, no, thank you. But I mean, I really liked it, though. I did like it.
All right.
I got my money's worth. How about that?
All your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
With a time that long, is that just all grinding? Is that's what being added to the overall length of the story?
Not necessarily, because they actually add. It was one of the first like Square games that started like, hey, you can just skip fights and get in more XP, etc. It built into the menus.
Okay.
So they had kind of started playing pre Pixel Remaster. They had started adding those kind of features into games as like accessibility options.
Nobody's got time for that.
So, I mean, that's why I stopped playing, is because I didn't want to turn those on, and then I also didn't want to grind. So I was like, well, that's good. I enjoyed this game.
No grinding?
It was pretty good, though. I feel like it was a good Final Fantasy successor. Like if this was like Final Fantasy, if this was like a Final Fantasy, like if this was 16 or 15 instead, I would have been okay with that.
15, 16, 17? He's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. I am.
All right. It's been a year since Sony released PlayStation VR 2, and they seem to have abandoned it.
Big
At the roadside.
surprise.
We're just starting to see like there is, and this is, and the next story as well, which is Apple Arcade seems to have abandoned. Apple seems to have abandoned Apple Arcade. It seems like both of those are starting to see less of a Sony and Apple hand in their throughput. Like there used to be like, oh, we give big money for games on our service, and all of a sudden that money is starting to be less and less. So, by the way, we're only really giving this amount, and we're really only giving this amount, and it's like slowly moving away.
Well, I mean, for Sony, it's just kind of their thing. They'll put out something, half-heartedly support it, and then it's gone. PSP, PS Vita, their cable service.
Original PSVR.
The original PSVR, the Move controllers. They kind of dabble in something, don't push it, don't market it, and then are surprised when it fails. And there we go. Leaving the adopters high and dry.
There is rumor, though, that they're going to start trying to convert into allowing it to work on PC, which is good. Then you can use your headset with your PC for other PC games, just like
that'll be nice.
The MetaQuest.
As far as Apple's concerned, it seems like they're cutting the fat on other things too, because it's not just Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade being the smaller one, but the whole idea of they were supposed to have the Apple Car, like they were actually building a car, that's been completely abandoned too, as announced this week.
Oh, I didn't know there was an Apple Car.
Yeah, it's been in the works for the last like half of the decade.
Okay. Yeah, with both of these, the sad part about Apple Arcade is that they were getting some big hits. They got a former Final Fantasy creator to make like a tactics level like RPG that ended up being like very good. People talked about it. It's called Fantasian. And What the Golf was very good on that. And there was a lot. They got a lot of good gets on there. And that's what I think is like a lot of the disappointing part, is that like now they're starting to adjust and change, as saying, hey, we want more family oriented games, which kind of is starting to remove, like it's becoming different. It's becoming a whole different thing. And that's what people are starting to get upset about. Their amount of money that is being paid to them is much less, so they can't get the developers to want to do it. And then at the same time, saying, oh yeah, you need to do this and do these other things. And people are like, I don't want to be limited by you. So, bummer altogether for those two services.
Yep. But it's not a bummer.
What's that?
Freebies.
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 Sound effect here.
Free those bees.
Never.
And get these games.
Yep.
Let's run through them. Alex,
Getty.
you didn't listen to last week's episode, right?
I did, but I don't know what you're referring to.
Okay, good. Because the Freebies was a complete fiasco.
Oh yeah, like you guys didn't do it, like, or you guys just like didn't put a lot of them in there, and then I was like, well, I don't, like, I can't do the work for you.
You put in one, and it had expired before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, my assistance from Arizona wasn't enough for you guys.
I thought that you were hiring like 4 gophers to take care of this stuff.
You have cell
No,
service in Arizona,
we
I
do.
assume.
Oh,
yes,
he did.
we do, but
Yeah.
I was also in the middle of a mountain. It wasn't very good cell service. Yes, we have an intern, but the intern is currently doing something else. He's writing a review
For you.
for the website. Like, what am I going to put my name on the intern's work?
Yes,
No.
you are. And
Okay,
also,
then you tell-
can you get on making some more beta breakdowns, Alex? Because
That's the plan.
it's almost March, and
'Cause,
we only have 2.
We've had a code since 2021, 22, and that preview is now out by Nick Bruno. Soccer story, a disappointing kick in the wrong direction. You're welcome, Getty.
I thought I wrote a review on that.
I think they made a point not to tag the developer in that post.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Next.
Jeez. All right.
Freebies.
Aerial Knights Never Yield over on the Epic Game Store.
This is a cool little indie game it's basically a runner, but it's a very stylistic runner. Lots of neon, bombastic, running, sliding, jumping, and you are trying to like fight the man. It's very cool. It's all around. People should, like, let's just say this: get Aerial Knights Never Yield. It's cool as hell. Take the role of Wally, a mysterious character that has recovered what was taken from him. Hopefully, you're fast enough to outrun your enemies. Run, jump, slide, and dash for acrobatic variants, leading to dope combinations, and avoid the challenges that await. I was real hyped on this game until they wrote the word "dope" in there, and then now I'm like,
I was gonna say, who uses that anymore?
maybe like.
I don't
Maybe
know.
like I still think that you should get this game despite that description.
I think it's
Maybe-
kind of dope that they use the word dope.
Maybe they're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
It's like a retro word at this point. Oh, Strange Horticulture is on sale. I'm into Strange Horticulture. I keep going, Getty.
Next up, 100 Dino Cats over on
And-
Steam.
And follow up with the next one.
Perfectly Hidden Cats Kitten Rock over on Steam.
So, we played a game, Arcade Full of Cats, Getty. That was a lot of fun. That was free on Steam. As it turns out, that's a genre
Yeah.
of hidden image, hidden cat games. The developer of 100 Dino Cats is just 100 cats. That's the name of the company, 100 Cats.
Mm-hmm.
And they have released multiples 100 cat hidden message games.
I like it.
Thanks, Lisa. I'll drink water now. And then also, the Perfectly Hidden Cats is a series as well. A developer that just makes perfectly hidden cat section like games with different maps. And this is Kitten Rock, but they're like all of them are free. So, hidden cat games are the thing.
I would play more hidden cat games.
I thought about it personally. I was like, I should probably download some 100 Dino Cats. And then I also looked at it and I was like, there are like 17 others of these. Where do I start? Do I start with the Dino Cats or do I go to the Robot Cats? Because there's 100 hidden Robot Cats too. So I have a lot to think about.
Oh, we good? Okay, we're good. Next up, Self-Indulgence over on Steam.
I just want to say I drink water because your wife told me to drink water. And this is Arizona water, and Arizona water sucks.
How so?
It just tastes bad. It tastes bad. Self-indulgence. In self-indulgence, players delve deep into the haunting psyche of the game's lone developer. Engulfed by a relentless cycle of self-destruction, a single-player old-school survivor horror experience that explores the harrowing confines of personal demons. Very much a PS1 graphical, like kind of take on Silent Hill, but more of an internal monologue struggle from the developer's point of view.
Word. Lights Off. Director's Cut over on Steam.
This is a first-person, also PS1 graphical game. There might be a trend here. But play through a common childhood fear about turning the lights off and going to bed. This is kind of one of those where wherever you are, you have to turn off the lights and then try to get to bed. But every time you turn off the lights, it just gets spookier and scarier, and horrifying things happen. So you have to like turn off the lights and then run.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that.
It's a pretty fun idea if you ask me. Like, this seems like a fun experience. Just like turn off the lights and run, because stuff like you hear stuff moving around in the darkness, and that's pretty funny.
And last one, Sonder over on Steam.
Experience an innovative co-op adventure where two players have to work together, engage in collaborative puzzle solving and dynamic combat, with each player having unique abilities. Delve into a psychological narrative that explores the essence of humanity. Looks like a spirit and a robot working together. Kind of like WALL-E. Like WALL-E. WALL-E. Eva.
Okay.
Very nice.
Getty, WALL-E or Up?
For, like, which is better?
Sure. You tell me.
Which made me cry more?
Oh, well, that's a different question. The question was...
Which had better
Up.
animation?
I said Up or WALL-E.
But you didn't give any context.
Mm-hmm.
So
Decide
I'll
on
go
your
with
own.
Up.
Okay. Getty says Up is the worst Pixar film. It's weird that you said that.
What's the worst?
Yeah, keep it up, Alex.
What's the worst Pixar film?
That one where the lady makes dough balls and then eats them, and
That's
it's
a
her
short.
child.
That's not a...
No? Okay.
It doesn't
I don't
count.
want that one. Well, Cars.
Cars.
Because he doesn't like Matthew McConaughey.
Was he in that?
No way to know.
Phil, what's your vote on this?
The worst one?
Worst one.
I don't know. They're all pretty solid.
Right?
I got bored of Cars.
Cars 1 was fine. Cars 2 was a little derivative. Cars 3 took it back to the essence. So
This is a Fast and the
I
Furious
know.
thing.
it does, yeah, that does sound like that. But yes, I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
Cars 2.
I'm going to go with
That new one.
Lightyear.
Oh
I didn't
yeah.
think about that.
I was gonna say Turning Red, but I kind of like
forgot
Turning
about
Red.
that.
What about that jazz pianist? That one was only okay.
You didn't like
Soul?
Soul?
That one was all right.
Yeah. But yeah, Lightyear is probably the right answer. Lightyear's probably the right answer.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know why Getty said it was Up. So.
Because, again, you didn't give any context, as you like to do. Where you send a link and you just say, for tonight, and you don't say, like, hey, maybe click on this at 8:15.
I mean, I'm more like, hey, at least my news stories you could read.
I
As
couldn't
opposed to
read
just
half of
like-
these. They were...
No, I'm saying like, Joel's news article. I listened. Joel's like, you're like, these news articles are just links, Joel.
That is a fair criticism.
To be fair here, I am an annoyance. Alex is sending stuff like a scammer would if they had
Yes,
hacked
he
his
does.
account.
Oh, he just sends links all the time, and he's like, hey, did you see that thing I sent? Like, no.
Oh,
I don't know
man,
that was you.
I found a real funny blog that's just Final Fantasy VIII is the .best. I got that from the Gaming Fix people, and it's just a blog with different articles about a guy saying like, yeah, any of the Final Fantasy sucks. It's a real good article. I'm gonna send this to
Weird.
Joel.
Okay. Let's wrap and take a break and consider all the sins we committed. Are you looking up what Tokyo Mirage Session FE is right now?
You know he is.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What?
And we're back. Back with the Backlog Blog where we play games. Well, I don't know what y'all are playing, but we got Phil on the podcast this week, so he's got to be playing something. Phil,
I'm playing a lot of
fill
things.
me in on what do you want to talk about first?
I might as well just jump right into Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Now, hold on, Phil. How
Yes.
are you playing this?
Listen, my Switch has been out of commission for a long time. My boys have their Switch minis, and they lost the Joy-Cons for our Switch.
How do you?
I've been using-
That feels ridiculous. Like I don't know how you.
It is.
But okay, so let's do the setup then. If you
So I've been
don't have
using-
a Switch, Phil, however are you playing these?
I have a Switch now because now I got the Nitro Deck adapter, which is fun. But okay, so we're going into the fact that I am emulating Tokyo Mirage Sessions using Ryujinx on my Steam Deck.
Let's also just say you own
Right.
it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the cover of butts, right?
I own a
Well,
own
I
a
mean,
copy
honestly-
on Wii U. He's borrowing it from me.
Nailed it.
I mean,
You
I mean,
own a
honestly,
copy of this?
Yes.
Now that I have my Nitro Deck, where I could slap my Switch into, I mean, it feels like I'm playing on a Steam Deck now. It's just a little bit smaller. I mean, I plan to get it. I want to support Atlas because I love the Shin Megami Tensei series. I love the Persona series. The only Shin Megami Tensei game that I've played through that I don't own a physical copy of because it was a digital download, and not pirated. I was playing it through.
It was Shin Megami Tensei 3 because you borrowed it off of my. Like I bought a 3.
No, that was
3DS.
that was Shin Megami Tensei 4, and you loaned me your DS. I bought it, and then I downloaded it, so now you have it.
Yep.
But no, I'm talking about Persona 5 Royal, which is
Can we talk about Tokyo Mirage?
yes. I'm going all the way around the world. Sorry.
I know. It's all we're going to make it back.
So Tokyo Mirage Sessions is one of the few SMT games that I actually haven't played, and it's not obviously it's not exclusively Atlas. It's Atlas's crossover with Nintendo, crossing over elements of Shin Megami Tensei with Fire Emblem, which is an awesome concept. And so I wanted to start playing it, and right off the bat, it feels very Shin Megami Tensei. You got your pop idols. You have your main characters who join a clandestine group who are running a front to hide the fact that they're battling demons who are bleeding over into the real world. And for
what's the
anyone
front?
who's ever played, the front is a record. It's a record company.
Yes.
Where they, yes, the front is a record company, and their heroes are pop idols, pop stars, and and they really do cut albums, and they have to go through singing training, and that all comes into the ability to use the creatures that they summon, and and just like any Shin Megami Tensei game, you're summoning creatures, but these creatures are Fire Emblem characters.
So so just let's be clear here for Joel's sake. Persona game, you are pop stars, and your summons are not personas; they are Fire Emblem characters.
Yes.
It's a real weird mix here.
It is an odd mix because the art style is also a very odd mix of Fire Emblem with bits of like Atlas Shin Megami Tensei strewn about the place. and the dialogue is very Shin Megami Tensei. And when you use your abilities, when you use your spells, your fire spells, your ice spells against enemy creatures, they're all the same spells that you would use in a Shin Megami Tensei game. So like electricity would be Zio, your ice would be Bufu. They're all the same spells, and the enemies have weaknesses and affinities to certain elements, and when you strike them, they give you an extra attack. Typically, very much like Persona. So I started playing this about maybe 2.5-3 hours in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. And like I said, now that I got my Nitro deck, I'm just waiting for it to go on sale, and I'm gonna pick it up on Nintendo Switch. I want to support Atlas, so. But yeah, so far it actually runs really well on the Steam Deck, surprisingly so. But yeah, it's the battle system, very, very familiar, and I can't wait to keep playing it more. I know Getty's beaten the game, I don't know, a while ago, didn't you?
Many, many moons ago.
Yeah.
You enjoyed your time with it, Getty?
Yeah, Phil nailed it dead on. It is very much SMT or Persona in most of the stuff that you do. There are a couple of things that are very unique to it because they lean so heavily into the idol culture. And I remember like playing this, I had no idea that this was like a huge thing in Japan. I knew like a little bit of it, but the way that they treat these stars and the things that they go through, it's kind of crazy. But then,
it's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. But then when you're in like the middle of battle, you'll start to see stuff like a solo, and that solo will be like a random occurrence, but it will buff your characters. And there's a lot of these like little things that they meld into it so that it feels more akin to that. And then the Fire Emblem characters, yeah, it's just really cool to see some of the IP get used like this. You know, it's a good mashup. There needs to be more stuff like this.
Agreed.
But Wii U was
Awesome
not
crossover.
not an ideal platform for it.
But it's the one I got it on.
Do you physically have a copy of it on the Wii U?
Yes.
Will you ever play it?
Maybe.
Hold on to it. It'll be worth something someday.
Is
Physical
your
copies
Wii
of
U
any
currently
Atlas
hooked
games
up?
are
It
usually-
is hooked up currently.
That's messed up, man.
Well. That's good.
There are dozens of us, right?
Ones of us.
Yep.
Just like our viewership.
There are tens of us.
I think Phil also has Super Galaxy Squadron EX Turbo
Oh yeah.
to talk about tonight.
I picked that up on sale, on Steam. It was literally 99 cents, knocked down from $10. It's a bullet hell shooter, classic arcade style, top down. You pick a ship. They give you this. They give you. I mean, it looks very like almost like late 80s anime, early 90s. You know, the box art is what grabbed me originally. I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's a bullet hell shooter. But looking at the box art, it looked like something that would have been like on the PC-98 or PC Engine Turbo Duo system. You know, something that wasn't in America. You know, it was just quintessentially a Japanese-looking, very neon color box art. You know, I was like, wow, this is like FM Towns like level of bullet hell shooter looking type box art. So, you know, $1, 99 cents, can't go wrong. And yeah, you get put into this world where you have, I think it's literally 12 different ships that you could pick from, and each one has a different pilot, and they give you a bit of a background about the pilot. And there are some from Earth, some from Mars, Alpha Centauri. There's a couple of aliens who are from the who jumped ship from the invading army, and now they're helping you. There's one completely unknown alien that they can't even communicate, but just showed up and started helping in his own ship. So you can pick through any number of these ships. All of them have different firing patterns and different super abilities. So once you gain enough of the power-ups, they can do a hyper attack. One can be a bomb. One just starts raining missiles. And it's, again, you got, ships coming down at you, bullets flying everywhere, bigger ships come, they start firing in random patterns, and you're just dodging shots everywhere. At some point, I'm just focusing on my ship, not even looking at the enemy. I'm just holding down the shoot button, because you don't even have to keep hitting the shoot button. You just hold it down, you're just constantly shooting. I'm focusing on my ship, trying to navigate through the bullets. Now, there's a neat little focus feature on the, I think it was the left bumper, and when you hit that, the game slows down time.
Oh, perfect.
So that the bullets just slow down, and then you can weave your way through, without getting hit. And what's nice is it's not just a one-shot dead bullet hell. You do have a life bar, so you can take a couple of hits before you get destroyed. So, weaving through all the bullets, and even if you run out of the focus, you can take a couple of hits once you get out of the cloud of bullets headed your way. And then once you get through all the little guys, and then of course there's a boss. And then once you defeat the boss, boss ship, it moves on to the next stage. But in between stages, there's actual vocalized story bits, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's what you told me, is that it has voice acting, and that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. So when you're transitioning from stage 1 to stage 2, you hear like somebody from mission control like, "Good job, the enemy's retreating. Now it's time for us to head on in and push them back further." And then you go from stage 2 to stage 3, and it's like, "Looks like the enemy's regrouping over by the moon. We're gonna head that way, but just be careful. It might be a trap." And it's like, "Roger that, mission control. We're on our way." Kind of stuff like that. So it's excellent excellent presentation.
It's got good personality.
Yeah. So it's not just a bullet hell shooter and then giving you some dialogue and then moving on. They give you a little bit of immersion and the feeling of you're part of a squadron, pushing back an alien invasion. And it's really cool again that they give you so many ships to choose from, and each one with its own different firing pattern and different supers. It kind of makes you want to play through it again. I got to I played it like maybe 3 or 4 hours the first day I got it, just trying out the different ships, and then I wanted to try to beat the game. And I was playing through it not last night but the night before, and I got to I was like level 8. I was again bullet hell dodging, and it was like quarter to 10, and the Steamdeck hit my face.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's time to put it down. It's time to go to bed, because I was in the cutscene and I was like nodding off. I'm like, oh, hold on, I gotta finish this game. And then I was dodging. I'm like, okay, I'm getting hit a lot here. And then thunk. Okay.
I've gotten hit like right on the bridge of the nose so many times.
Yeah.
Alex, is that before or after you inhaled the fumes?
Where did that even come from?
It smells like you're ironing clothes. That's what it smells like to me.
I'm unfamiliar with that smell. Getty, can you tell me about it?
I also iron my clothes.
I know you iron your clothes a lot.
Some of us are responsible adults.
There's like Getty lore here. Like we should really like dive into. Like, oh, you take weekly baths. Let's talk about that. No? Okay.
I mean, if you want to. It's kind of weird.
I thought it was weird too. But right now the lore is you iron your shirts weekly.
So
Joel, you don't iron your shirts, do you?
Not consistently. And,
okay,
and,
doesn't have to.
and only button down stuff. I don't do it with like a t-shirt or anything.
Getty, do you iron your t-shirts?
No.
Okay.
It's all button downs. I need to wear nice dress clothes to work.
Phil, how much are you ironing?
Oh, maybe once a week, if that.
A week? You do weekly?
It depends on what I'm wearing and how wrinkled it is.
So what did we learn this week? Alex is the only person who doesn't iron.
Alex is a wrinkled mess, as it would seem. As it would seem. I think
It really depends.
I thought I was the non-weird one. I thought Getty was the weird one. Turns out I learned something new about myself. Is it going to change my behavior? Absolutely.
100%.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not going to iron. I'm not going to iron. I'm not going to iron.
Can you pound a beer and then iron a shirt?
1 second.
That is a weak
The answer
pound.
is still, I'm not going to iron.
It's a weak pound, sir.
Say it to the mic. Say it to the mic. I'm not going to iron. And it's not that I'm anti-ironing. And I'm sorry, Phil, we're going to go back to your game. It's not that I'm anti-ironing. I'm just saying is that the amount of effort it takes to heat up the thing, and then
I'm
iron.
gonna start
Turn
billing
it on
you for
and
time.
walk away.
Okay. Anyway, okay.
Take it, plug it in,
So-
heats itself up.
No, but I gotta get the ironing
the
board
coals.
out. Like do the thing where you're shaking it. You gotta press the switch and then you shake it so the feet come out. Shake it. Okay.
This is insane.
Okay. So Phil, how
Go
much did you
Iron
pay
Man.
for this game? This
Said 99 cents.
$1.
Super Galaxy Squadron EX Turbo. You paid 99 cents. Man, that's
American.
that is a
That's a
steal
deal.
for some bullet hell shooting. You have not beaten it yet, huh?
No. Like I said, last time I was playing it, the deck hit my face. So I'm going to continue playing it this weekend. Hopefully I beat it with one ship, and then I'm going to go back and try to beat it with the other ships and see if there's any difference in the endings. No, great game. Can't recommend it enough, especially for $1. I mean, when it goes back, heck, if I'd seen it when it was $10, I still would have bought it. But I got lucky.
What is the phrase? I'll take that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1.
There you go. Also, watch out for that Steam Deck. It'll break the bridge of your nose. You good, Getty?
No. Did you break your nose and didn't tell anybody?
No, I didn't break my nose and didn't tell anyone.
All right. Sure seems like it.
Come on, Iron Man.
I won't. There's a reason why I don't play the Steam Deck in bed. I just don't do it because I know something like that's going to happen to me.
Well, live and learn, right?
Yep.
Do you need me to talk about my weekend adventure?
Well, Getty, I feel like you could. I feel like you could give me the highlights. What did you do this weekend?
I, on
What
Sunday,
are we talking
went to the Magic the Gathering convention
about? MagicCon.
in downtown Chicago.
It's all one word. MagicCon.
Magic Con.
No, MagicCon.
Salsa.
And how was the MagicCon?
It was just people playing Magic, man. Just a lot of tables.
There was Magic Man there too.
A lot of sweaty bodies and chairs.
Mhm.
A lot of smells. Not all of them good.
Did it smell?
A lot of paper being passed back and forth.
Did it smell?
It's a convention. It always smells.
That's not true.
Here's a good story from the convention. You'll appreciate this.
Hit me.
My sibling, she came with moral support.
She's the right person to bring.
Yep. Her and my partner. And at
My
one
wife.
point, they took a bathroom break, but while they were in there, somebody came running in and just started vomiting. And they were like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm just real hungover." So people were going hard. Like, real hard at MagicCon.
MagicCon? People were going hard?
Yeah.
Was there a bubble? Oh, what if MagicCon had a bubble raid? Not a bubble raid, a bubble rave.
I don't know.
Like Ascend, man. What if they got real? Oh, what if there's like an H Magic game? Like what if there's Magic After Dark?
There was, but it was like cocktails and cards.
Are you sure it wasn't strip magic?
And they also did a clue event.
You have to watch out for mana burn on that one.
Oh,
That's a
mana
good
burn
one.
on strip magic.
You know, it's not a thing anymore.
Not my
They
magic.
got rid of it. They got rid of it.
They got Joel. How do you feel about them getting rid of mana burn? Tell me.
You know what? 12-year-old me would have really cared about that.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
he would have been a lot more efficient in his mana use.
There we go.
No, it was just I didn't get to do too much because a lot of it was ticketed events. We walked around the showroom floor. They had like a little Fallout event that they were doing. If you found all of the like little signs and scanned the QR code, you get a bottle cap, the currency in Fallout. And then did some light shopping, and then decided to head home.
How much custom art did you buy?
Custom? None.
Of your family and dogs?
Not a thing.
Okay. Phil, have you heard of the Magic?
The Magic? Yeah, I used to play it when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Have you heard about how it's now kind of like Fortnite, where they just have like packs of Evil Dead and now Fallout, apparently?
Being a Transformers head, I have seen it because they have Transformer cards in Magic the Gathering.
That's sick. It's so sick. That's just really, it just sounds cool. Getty, how many Final Fantasy packs did you buy me?
Alex, we've been over this. Final Fantasy isn't coming out until like next year.
Damn it. When's Fallout coming out?
Today? Tomorrow?
That's weird that they would have announced the Final Fantasy, but then they didn't announce like the Fallout till recently, and then said, "Oh, by the way, Fallout's here. Final Fantasy is not."
No. I believe they announced a lot of it all at the same time, and then they have been working their way through it.
But I don't remember there being a Fallout one. I remember the My Little Pony one.
But okay, so you're getting some of this stuff confused. There's the regular core game, okay? All right. So that is like the sets of Magic the Gathering cards. Mm-hmm. Some of the stuff that you're talking about is just like exclusive releases that are purchasable, but they're not like a set. Like you can't buy a pack of those cards. You buy those like 6 cards.
I'm confused.
Okay.
Can I not slam a My Little Pony mana burn on you?
You're just stringing words together, and no.
Man, that's what Magic sounds like to me.
A lot of the cards like that aren't in like normal circulation, so you can only play them in certain formats.
Yeah, I assume.
What were those games
Like-
that he used to like auto chess or
Yeah,
Auto
auto chess.
Battlers?
Yeah, that.
Oh man, that was a good
Robo
phase.
chess.
That was a good little couple months. But seriously though, let's talk about this seriously. So you're not getting a full set of some of these, right? Is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm really concerned that this is interesting to you now.
It is. I kind of want to buy the Final Fantasy set, but it doesn't look amazing.
Okay.
Like the art doesn't look as cool as I would like.
They haven't even released artwork for it, so.
Oh really? I googled when a man and a
That's called fan art.
when a man Googles something, he assumes that the internet is all
Alex,
factual.
you should know better. You should not use Google.
He assumes it's all factual. Okay, so they have not released the Final Fantasy artwork then. Okay, for some reason I was under the impression that it was further along.
The
Then-
only
then,
thing...
like-
So the nice thing about the Magic convention, if you were there on Friday, you got to see like spoilers, like previews for the next couple of sets. So they did reveal the next 3 sets that they're going to do.
Which
And
are?
do you really care?
Yes.
Okay. Thunder Junction,
asked.
Modern Horizons 3, and then they're doing the Universe set this year for them is going to be the second one is Assassin's Creed,
Okay.
and
I heard
then
about that.
the one after that is called like Bloom something.
Did the Doctor Who one come out yet?
Last year.
Okay. See, that's what I'm saying is that I don't know the dates. I hear things get announced roughly the same time.
Last year
and
they
then
did Lord of the Rings and they did Doctor Who.
I like the Lord of the Rings art.
This year they're doing Fallout
Okay.
and Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Next year, I know Final Fantasy,
Okay.
but then there's also talk late 2025, early 2026 that they're doing Marvel collab.
That's messed up. Where's the Evil Dead one?
Over there on my shelf.
So it did come out already?
Yeah, but those are also
And
limited. They only printed
Did,
a certain number of copies.
Got it.
did,
And
did you
not
also do the
in
Transformers
packs.
ones last year?
Transformers was 2 years ago?
Was it 2 years ago? Okay.
When
I
is the
couldn't remember when I saw
Ghostbuster
it.
set? I want a sick Peter Venkman.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do a Ghostbusters.
I can only imagine.
I don't work for Wizards of the Coast.
Joel, if you were to make a Magic the Gathering collab, what would you
I
do?
already got mine.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, here, Metal Gear Solid. Do a Lord of the Rings Metal Gear Solid series.
Lord of the Rings?
Not Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering.
Magic
Yeah,
the Gathering.
yeah.
I have a set that was in the art style of the guy who did the covers for.
Yeah.
They look sick.
Nice.
Oh, Metal
Phil,
Gear.
what do you got? You already got Transformers. Would you like something else in Magic the Gathering?
Yeah, Top Gear.
That doesn't make a lick of sense. That's awesome.
It's just cars.
The Jeremy Clarkson card would do me well.
Yep.
Would it just be photos of them on the card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
absolutely.
yeah.
I would like a Fast and the Furious set.
I'd buy that for $1.
Absolutely.
Sounds awful.
Did you have a good time at the Magic the Gathering con?
I mean, we were only there for like 4 hours. It was still fun.
Okay. That sounds like a blast and a half.
You good? Did you get your Magic the Gathering information?
I'm happy with the information I obtained.
All right. Then we can move on.
Yep.
All right. Before we do one last thing, here's your kind reminder that next week, video game homework is due.
Yep.
Everybody will hand in their essays on Dishonored. And make sure to keep track of how many people you killed.
Oh, that's too late. I did not do that. I mean, I know there was a final number, but I definitely did not receive that. I mean, I didn't pay attention to that. I mean, again, I played a game where I murdered everybody. That was kind of the point for me.
Yeah.
In my head canon,
Bad guy.
That was the only way. That was the only way Corvo could finish.
One last thing. This week's One Last Thing is brought to you by Alex Day One Arona. Day One.
You said I needed to. You literally threatened my life and said if you don't buy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I will kill you, Alex. So I bought it day one.
Never said those words.
I bought it. I mean, it's over there.
Never.
I got the pre-order, ill-fitting Final Fantasy Rebirth trucker hat.
Yeah.
It does not fit my head, and it's I didn't need the trucker hat.
Give it to Joel.
But I got it.
No, I don't need a trucker hat. Don't send it my way.
Give it to one of Joel's kids.
No, so
Joel,
many hats.
it would work on.
So many
Actually,
hats.
it would work on the kids. It did not work for me. It's just, I got too much head going on there.
You still got that Fatal Fury trucking hat?
Yes, that fits me nicely.
Awesome.
That's my one last thing. Day one. All right, Alex.
Now that I'm back from my trip, I definitely am going to get back into Persona 3. Though I did spend way too much time playing Balatro. My review can be found in Nintendo World Report. But I also just continued playing Balatro. And I also like the fact that we're all playing and we're all in this chat and go, hey man, this my setup's pretty messed up. Oh, this is also pretty messed up. And then all of a sudden Joel's like, I won. And then Getty's like, I also won. And then I'm like, yeah, I won too. Just here you go. Like we all won on the same day. And it's a very good game.
Now you just have to go back and do it with all the decks, right?
I'm ready on I'm back on the other decks now. Like I've moved on.
So you can get challenge mode.
Yep.
Challenge
Plan.
mode. All right, Joel.
I think I'm near the end of Dishonored, or at least I'm churning at a pretty quick rate, beyond it being Dunet's tweet, I just wanted to get back to RoboCop.
You like that? You like that RoboCop game?
I am enjoying it. Yeah.
That's good.
It's pretty good.
We had a fun conversation about it last week on the podcast.
I heard it.
Good.
I was there, Getty.
You were not there.
I kept putting Getty smells in the show notes.
Yeah. Congrats. All
I
right,
read it
Phil.
off too, actually. Well, I mean, I was gonna return to Persona 3 Rebirth, but now I gotta beat Balatro. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Once I finish that, I will play through some Persona 3 Rebirth, and then now that my Switch has a new life with the Nitro deck, see if I can get a purchase copy of Mirage Sessions, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and reviewing New Star GP for Nintendo World Report. It's a racing game. Feels like virtual racing. Very cool. Lots of fun. So I'm going to finish that up and ship that out to Nintendo World Report.
Nice.
Good. Sounds eventful. Sounds a lot more productive than the rest of us. All right. I guess that means that I can move down to the end of the episode.
Yep.
All right. Let's do it.
On out.
And that'll be it for this week's episode of Super GG Radio. Before we go, you can find us on X, formerly Twitter.
I hate when you say it.
It's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
X
Makes it
gonna
worse.
give it to you.
Makes it worse.
At Super GG Radio and twitch.tv/Super GG Radio, where Thursdays, much like tonight, you may be watching us live and in person, staring deep into our souls. I guess we're going to get some improv here. Tuesdays, Alex is back on his Monster Hunter Rise. Is that true?
I'm back on my Monster Hunter Rise and Grind, baby.
He's almost done with the game.
I am.
Almost.
Getty. Almost.
Almost. Could you not do that?
You're
Because you pointed at
you're
your
having too much
camera
fun
and now
with
it is
this.
completely...
There you go. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this camera switching feature here.
It did not really fix it. And
Right.
if you really want to know what's going on, send us a message, and Alex will take a picture of his camera setup just to make you as stressed as it makes me.
It's really upsetting.
Mondays, Joel is playing games.
Maybe.
Okay. Lion
He
King?
just keeps
Dishonored?
swearing on the podcast.
No, that's a card I'm only going to play once a month.
Sure.
I've done it 3 times now.
Once a month. Alex just spit out his beer. That was
Close.
fantastic.
It was real close. It was real close.
Oh, great.
Close to a spit take.
All right, well, Joel will do something at some point. Let's just leave it at that.
I was debating playing Escape Academy just to beat it before Joel and Kelly do.
Oh, snap.
Fair.
Aren't you guys, like, right at the end, too?
They've been
pretty
right at
sure.
the end for like
Yeah.
6 to 9 months.
2 years now.
Nice.
Going on 2 years. All right. If you'd like to reach us with questions or input, our email address is mail@superggradio.com. And provide us a review on iTunes or the podcast app of your choice. Thanks for listening, and good game, Alex.
GG Getty.
Good game, Joel.
Good game.
And good game, Phil.
Good game.
Oh, yeah.